Hey guys, welcome to another video. Before anything else, I would like to rebuild my refinery right here. But before we do that, I would like to get some dirt first and level this ground. So I need lots and lots of dirt. So let me grab a shovel. Let me grab lots of dirt and let's get to work. I have leveled all the ground. I've basically terraformed everything that is around me that I require. I'm gonna go ahead and plant a plant gatherer, and I'm gonna add a max range add-on which is 12, and I'm gonna get to show working area, and let's see what we have here. So I need a bit more dirt actually. I kind of like this placement right here. So frankly, what's gonna happen right here is I'm gonna grow some oaks. Not only oaks, if I go to the quest and go to the player shop, I have basically 6 types of wood I could grow. So I will start with, I guess, the oak, but I will have to make space for 5 more. So I'm hoping to fit everything right here in this space. But anyway, let's start with oak. I mean, this kind of lots of tech stuff I need to build and connect. So let's get to it then. Okay, but first things first, I would like to make myself a plastic manufacturing unit, if you will. So first things first, I would like to place a block placer. Okay, so it's facing the wrong way. Now I will place 3 fluid extractors, and again they're facing the wrong way. Behind that I will place a latex processing unit. On top of it I will place the latex processing unit. I'm gonna dig here a few blocks. Place the water condenser here, and I will surround it with water. There you go. So it says here I need some water, so I'm gonna connect the Fluiducts to this latex processing unit. Now from the tree fluid extractor, I want to also hook up everything with the Fluiducts. I'm gonna make sure to disconnect unwanted connections. Now the block placer is gonna require some power. So I'm gonna hook the leadstone ducts for energy to the simple striling generator. I'm gonna add charcoal for fuel. And for the block placer, I will place some oak. Let's see if it's working. Okay, as we can see, it does. Okay, now if we right click on the tree fluid extractor, we can see that the latex is building up a bit. So I'm gonna hook up the servo. I'm gonna turn it on. Same here. And as you can see, we have latex building up right here, and we have a tiny dry rubber. Okay, so now to make plastic, we wanna add a auto workbench. I'm gonna hook up Itemducts to it. I'm gonna add a servo. I'll take this tiny dry rubber. I'm gonna whitelist this tiny dry rubber. And on the auto workbench, I'm gonna make a dry rubber. I'm gonna place down a furnace right here. Add another connection from the auto workbench, and once I have a dry rubber, I'm gonna cook it into plastic in furnace. So I guess for now I'm gonna add a charcoal for fuel. I have a small storage crate from my old base full of rubber, so I'm gonna place it right here. Add another Itemduct, add a servo to it, grab 1 plastic for filter. I'm gonna whitelist this plastic and I will turn it on. And right here I will be generating plastic. So I've reconnected the piping a bit, but anyway, so right now we have a dry rubber being generated. I'm sucking everything out into the furnace, and my plastic is being generated. Okay, now to grow some trees. So right here in basically the center, I'm gonna put in the plant sower. I'm gonna connect the plant gatherer with Itemducts. I'm gonna place the resourceful generator right here. I'm also gonna plant the petrified fuel generator right here, connect it with Itemduct. I'm gonna connect the plant sower with the power, like this. And I'm gonna connect the plant sower with Itemducts directly to the plant gatherer. I think it's this way it's done, if I remember correctly. Just like this, connect it underground like this, and I will connect it to the plant gatherer. So if I remember everything correctly, of course, I think I will have to maybe redo it. Now I want to get the whole system started by adding some fuel. Okay, now that I have all of my machines powered up and connected, so the plant gatherer is ready for action. In the meantime, as you can see, the plant sower is working. I have a max range add-on added right here, and same for this guy. And as you can see, it starts for me to gather all the wood. So what's happening right now is that I had put only the oak saplings to be coming out of here straight to the plant sower. However, this is a mistake because I have all of these stuff residing in the plant gatherers, so I need to get rid of all of that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna insert a crate right here. I'm gonna remove this as a whitelist. I'm gonna send everything out into that crate. Let's add a servo and let's wait for the plant gatherer to gather some more oak saplings. In the meantime, I want to get rid of all of this stuff. So I will dig underground straight to the trash compactor. So these are all the stuff that I have gotten. I'm gonna grab the oak saplings. I'm gonna for now put it on maximum, only on whitelist. These guys will be sent to the plant sower. I'm gonna add an additional crate and we'll connect this initial crate to this one. With these servos, I'm gonna send everything out. Okay, so for now I'm gonna feed part of the oak logs directly to the resourceful furnace. So I'm gonna at least grab one log per tick. I'm gonna whitelist. I will change it later, in fact, but I'm gonna send it now, at least for the moment, to generate some charcoal. For the trash compactor, regarding all the items that I want to get rid of, I will take oak apple gal. I'm gonna remove that completely. I do not need it. It will just fill up my inventory space. I also want to get rid of the silkworm eggs. Okay, I will turn it on, and now these items will be automatically destroyed. I'm gonna use the servo from the resourceful furnace and send all the charcoal out into the petrified fuel generator. I can already see the essence building up and this one burning. Now you may be wondering, why am I burning the oak logs on the resourceful furnace when I can sell these off? The reason being is that I do not have, at least for the moment, other types of logs. My next setup like that will be mineral logs. I will replace all of the resourceful furnaces with mineral logs instead of oak logs, and that way I won't be wasting oak logs at all. Now as well, I have oak sapling to remove to the trash compactor. Now another thing I would like to do is basically send out part of the charcoal from the petrified fuel generator directly into the plastic production unit for continuous power. I'm gonna place item ducts. I'm gonna connect the item duct into here. Send it down. Whoops. Okay. In fact, I could have just maybe add it like this. Now eventually I'm gonna hit a point where I will have too much of charcoal on each slot for burning, including all of the furnaces right here. So what I want to do next, I'm gonna dig here underground. I'm gonna connect another set of item ducts straight to the furnace right here. I really hope these charcoals will be received by this furnace. Also, I'm gonna use this servo to send out all of the charcoal. I'm gonna put it on one, turn it on. I'm gonna patch up this hole right here. And now all the charcoal will be stored in this crate. Part of this will be sent for the power generation, and the bottom will be sent to the plastic production unit. And is also being filled up with the charcoal. However, the plastic is not being generated as I do not have any blocks in my block placer. So, well, I think I can use mineral. I have a hard time pronouncing that word. Let's check it out. What kind of blocks do I have? But I'm pretty sure I cannot use that. I think I've already tried once before. Definitely not. Once I grow mineral, I will be burning all of that wood logs in these resource furnaces. In fact, I will be burning all of them. And instead of sending out all the oak logs right here into the resourceful furnace, which I will replace mineral with, I will be sending all the oak logs directly into the block placer for the plastic production. Once I replace that, I will reconnect everything. Now another really important thing is to make a sludge refiner right here. I'm gonna give it some power. As you can see, I have a plant gatherer full of sludge, so I need to refine this sludge. I'm gonna add a Fluiduct. I'm gonna insert a servo right here, turn it on, and as you can see, I basically have and as you can see, the sludge refiner refined all the sludge. I'm gonna connect the item duct right here. I will place a crate right here, connect the item duct, turn it on, and as you can see, I have all the stuff gathered right here in this crate. Now I'm gonna take this crate. Now I wanna take this auto workbench which I've placed last time, place it right here, connect the item duct, add a servo to it. I'm gonna take away the clay from this crate. In fact, I'm gonna take this small clay, I'm gonna whitelist, and I will refine this clay into the clay blocks. Okay, I will turn it on, and this crate of coal which I've placed last time in my last episode, I'm gonna collect all the clay right here. So maybe even like this. There is a weeping angel right here somewhere. In the meantime, I'm gonna take the clay blocks and send those guys directly into this crate. I'm gonna add another servo. I'm gonna whitelist clay blocks. I'm gonna turn it on. So now what's gonna happen, I'm gonna take the small clays, refine those into blocks, and store all of those here. As for the generated clay blocks from the sludge, I'm gonna take those and store directly into this crate, and here will be my clay box. But I am not done yet, because sometimes from the quarry I also receive a clay, so I need to dig this item duct underground to reach this specific point right here for the smaller clays to be refined into clay blocks. So that's what I'm gonna do now for the auto workbench for the clay block generation, going all the way underground to the quarry's outlet. In other words, from here there's the clay all the way to here. All the mycelium from this crate, so if I go ahead and grab a mycelium so this crate wouldn't be overstocked. So again, I'm gonna whitelist mycelium, turn it on, and there you go, mycelium will be stored right here. So regarding all the sand and gravel, I've dug another item duct underground going all the way through here for sifting. I have only blacklisted clay, mycelium and clay blocks from this pipe to sifting because I'll be storing mycelium here and all the clay will be going here. In fact, this crate where I will be storing all of my charcoal, it will be filling up pretty fast, I guess. So I want to add auto workbench. Tell that workbench that I want to make a charcoal block. This will basically reduce the item amount which is stored in this crate. Add another servo right here and turn it on. Okay, now I have some charcoal blocks. Let everything else burn out and the whole system will be fed with charcoal blocks. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to realize all the oak logs that I've gathered. I'm gonna add a item duct right here, add a reward chest on top of it, add a task screen on top of it, change the task to oak logs right here, click OK. And here from the bottom I'm gonna connect these item ducts into the crate which stores all the oak logs that I've gathered already. I'm gonna add a servo to it. I'm gonna put a oak log as a whitelist, turn it on, and now in the reward collector I'm gonna choose the rewards which I want to feed into the task screen. So we need to find the oak log right here. There you go, oak wood. I'm gonna click OK. Now if I turn this servo on, it's gonna start feeding the oak logs and hopefully I'll start generating some coins from that. Okay, so it doesn't change, so maybe if I shut it off right now, I may have to switch these two guys places. So I'm gonna connect the screen and put a reward collector on top of it. Let's try to do that again. Let's see if that would work. Yep, so as you can see at the right hand side of my screen, the oak is being fed into the task screen right here, and my coins are being generated. So basically I am receiving 5 coins per 32, in other words half a block of oak wood. Okay, but we are still not done yet because I need to have this part at least of this oak wood to be fed into the block placer. Here's the block placer. I basically need to connect the item duct to it. Okay, so I'm gonna connect an item duct right here, add a servo to it, pass the item duct underground until it eventually reaches the block placer. Okay, now this will be taking this oak log, I guess 1 block per tick. That's because I need at least small portion of all the oak logs to be fed into the block placer. The rest of the oak logs will be sold to the task collector. I'm gonna hide everything underground, make everything look nice and neat. Okay, so let's see if it worked. In fact, one thing I forgot to add a whitelist right here because the oak logs wasn't going anywhere. So now they will. Okay, so as you can see, the oak logs are being fed into here one by one. The plastic is being generated just fine. I will, however, eventually gonna need to empty this crate because I don't need that much plastic. All I need is energy generation, and the plastic, at least for now, is the byproduct. Well, I have some uses to it, but I don't really need that much, at least for now. Maybe later. But I basically have infinite of those at this point, so I may have to send some of these to the trash compactor. I will see. Now, if we look at the resourceful furnace, we have some fluid right here, which is called the essence. We need to extract that. So I'm gonna use the Fluiduct. I'm gonna dig underground right here until it basically reaches right here. I'm gonna add a fluid storage tank right here. I have some lava in it, so I need to get rid of that. I'm gonna connect the servo to the resourceful furnace, turn it on, and as you can see, the essence fluid is being drained out. There you go, all the essence is being stored right here. I have a 64K volume. Important thing I would like to do is to add an upgrade which would eventually maybe free up my inventory a bit. So this is the line going directly into the trash compactor. I'm gonna add a Itemducts right here. Disconnect everything that is not needed to be connected. On top of here I'm gonna add a crate, and on top of this crate I'm gonna add an item collector, because as you can see, these items keeps on dropping, and eventually I pick those up when I basically don't want to. So I need to add servo right here. This lesser servo will be good enough. So in case I would accidentally drop an needed item, I'm gonna put a whitelist and only get rid of everything that is being dropped by these oaks. I'm gonna turn it on, and right here, once the oak apple galls or maybe silkworm eggs or saplings are dropped, I'm gonna make sure that I won't be taking those into my inventory, and I will send those out into the trash compactor, so I won't have to worry about picking everything like this up. And another thing, I want to add more of the fluid storage tanks right here. It will be like a huge tank. I'm gonna add fluid ducts and connect everything like this, so I can forget it for the moment. And right near beside it, I'm gonna add later a battery, a huge battery, so it will be like a storage park or something. Okay, another thing I want to make real quick. So I've added a power line underground connected to the whole grid, and it comes up right here. So I'm gonna add atomic reconstructor right here, and I'm gonna put a stone pressure plate. So whenever I need to reconstruct something, I can drop it right here and it will do its thing. It will be important later. Anyway, so let's recap the current situation. So first of all, I have a quarry right here which basically gathers the materials for me on automatic. I send all the materials right here. I separate the cobblestone into the cobblestone compressor. I also have cobblestone generator right here next to the compressor. All the items that I do not need from the quarry I send out to the trash compactor. I have a bone refinery right here to turn the bones and rib bones into the bone blocks. Here I separate the redstone dust. Here is the sifter to sift all the sand, dirt, gravel and red sand and soul sand. Again, in here I have a Tinker's Construct furnace, including all the furnaces and tools that I would ever need. Maybe I will need, maybe I won't. I have an atomic reconstructor right here. And for now, in this episode, I've built basically an oak farm. I sell off all the oaks right here. By growing oaks I get sludge, so I take all the clay into here, separate mycelium here. The rest of the stuff, all the sand, dirt and all of that, I send out to the sifter. At least for now I burn all the oak woods into the charcoal. I separate those right here and turn them into the charcoal blocks, so basically I have infinite fuel right now. From my farm I get this fluid called the essence. I'm not sure why would I ever need that, but maybe I will eventually. And right here I turn the fluid from the tree extractor basically into the plastic. And this is where my power comes from. Anyway guys, I think this is pretty much it for this episode. I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye.